Good evening, everybody. It is Monday, the 24th of July, as I record this, which means it'll likely be Tuesday when you see it, and I have got some stellar news. Well, everyone, it's happened. We have reached a major milestone on the channel with 5,000 subscribers, and really, I honestly could not be more proud or more thankful. I feel like I say this every time I make one of these milestone videos, but damn, it really needs to be said. I'm always blown away by these numbers. 5,000 people, that's crazy. I don't even know 500 people, so to see 10 times that number it's nuts. 5,000 people are entertained by me in some way. It's always nuts, and I'm always so happy to see it. Now, of course, I could go on gushing for a while about all this great news, but what kind of content creator would I be if I didn't provide some kind of content to commemorate this milestone? Probably an indifferent one, but whatever. In this video, I'm going to go over each of the TCG trading card games that I currently have a deck for, and I'll be going over one thing that I really like about them, and one thing I don't really like so much about them. You know, give you all a little salty and sweet, so all's good. Now, keep in mind, do stay tuned until the end of the video, because I have another little announcement that you might already know what it is, depending on when you're watching it. But hey, watch the whole thing anyway, because YouTube likes when you do, and we all need to appease the algorithm overlords. Now, with all that said and done, let's begin with the game I started this channel to talk about. Magic the Gathering is a game I have been playing since around 2014, and in the almost decade since then, I have definitely gained a love-hate relationship with this game. For what I like, it's the availability. You know, no matter what game store I go to or what day of the week it is, no matter what time of day even, it feels like there's always someone there willing to sit down and play a game of Magic the Gathering. Usually EDH, but other formats are played depending on where you go. But as long as you have a commander deck in your pocket and are willing to take the trip to your LNGS, you're almost always guaranteed to find somebody who's willing to play with you. And I always think that's really great, that the community for this game is just so widespread that you're always able to find games. Now, for what I don't like, it's WotC. Everybody knows it's WotC. Everybody knows that I don't like WotC. I don't like the decisions they make. I don't like the people they employ. I don't like half of the products they release on a monthly basis. It's just everything about the company itself is a blight upon the game they've made. And I've said it, and thousands of other people say it. Magic the Gathering is the best TCG made by the worst TCG company, and that's all I'm going to say on it. Moving on, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game I have been playing since, basically, ever since it came out here in the States. I first played it at summer camp, I believe, and I quickly got addicted. Well over a decade of dueling later, I stopped playing it in about 2014 when I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I didn't like the direction the game was going, and I felt like it was becoming too convoluted for the average player. But lately, I have been getting back into it thanks to the local scene being inhabited by some pretty great bros. It is amazing, and what I like about Yu-Gi-Oh! The most is the awesome retro formats like GOAT and Edison. Throwback formats to back when people like me were young and playing this game. Edison is a format that takes you back to 2010, 2011 rule set and ban list, and GOAT format is the first few years of the game in terms of card pool, and both are really excellent formats that I've had a blast playing both in person and online. Now, what I don't like so much about Yu-Gi-Oh! It's gotta be the modern releases and how convoluted card effects have become. Look, if you look at modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, They will have lines and lines and lines of text and effects that care so much about whens and ifs. You're going to basically need a lawyer present if you intend to duel someone. It's fucking nuts. This acceleration of convolution is the reason I quit playing Yu-Gi-Oh! The first time, and it's the reason I have not bothered playing any new Yu-Gi-Oh! Sets. I prefer to play old-school Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's going to stay that way until Konami unfucks the game, basically. The third game on this list is the one I play the most at the moment, Flesh and Blood, which I picked up to play about a year ago and have gotten really passionate about since then. My favorite thing about this game is the customization of the decks. I've talked about it before in another video, but basically, I love the class and hero system the game uses, as well as the fact that most cards are an attack, a defense, and a resource all rolled into one, which gives the player a lot of depth when it comes not only to deciding how to play the cards, but which ones to include in the deck for maximum efficiency. I feel like of all the TCGs currently out, this one does the most for deck brewers. It's nuts. And my least favorite thing about the game is the crippling price some equipment demands on the secondary market. Yes, I know that that's technically about the market rather than the game itself, but please understand that this game is practically designed to be experimented with, but the cost of some of these equipments can really lock you out of trying more than one or two classes if you don't have a large budget. I mean, okay, so here's the example I want to give. Currently, I play Mechanologist because I love jank, and nothing's jankier than Data Doll. And, oh, as an aside, please, James White, if you're hearing this, please, I need you to give Data Doll more support. Please, I'm begging you. Anywho, the best chest piece for Mechanologist is the Teklo Foundry Heart, which is $80 to $100 by itself, and while that's not terrible, lately I've been interested in trying out Draconic heroes like Phi and Dromai, and their best chest piece is arguably the Flamescale Furnace, which is also like $90, and if that wasn't bad enough, Phi needs like 2 or 3 other $80 pieces of equipment, and basically, while I still do love the collectability of this game, seriously, this game has some really shiny stuff for collectors to consider. I'd appreciate it if there were some more reprints from LSS. Again, I know that finance isn't technically part of the game, but when you're trying to experiment with new decks, finding equipment for $10 to $20 is a lot nicer than finding them for $80 to $100. And again, I still want there to be these crazy collector's pieces. I love the cold foils, and I hope that those stay exclusive. Very hard to find, very rare. I love them so much. They're beautiful, and I think they're a collector's piece, but I also sincerely wish that there was a cheaper option for people who just want to play the game. With that said, I'm going to move on to Pokemon now, and the Pokemon TCG is one I used to play quite a lot, but then I stopped around 2010, 2011. Nowadays, I play it basically every pre-release just for the fun of it, and I have been having a blast. And what I like most about the Pokemon TCG is just how easy it is to get into for new and returning players. Pokemon is easily the least complex TCG of the big three, to the point where it's very easy for someone like me, someone who's very bad at TCGs in general, to get into the game, learn the basics, learn some of the more advanced rules, and have an absolute blast going through tournaments and pre-releases. It's fun and it's easy to get into. And while I don't really have anything too negative to say about Pokemon as a TCG, I do have to say, it is a game made primarily for kids, obviously, so when you're at tournaments, you're going to be playing against a lot of kids, and while it is a feels-bad moment to lose to a 9-year-old in the finals of an event, it's even worse when you beat that 9-year-old and now everyone in the store is looking at you like you just shot a dog. It's a lose-lose situation, and the final TCG I want to talk about today is the Digimon TCG, which has been a lot of fun whenever I get to play it. I started the Digimon card game when it came out a few years back, got a Diaboromon deck together as fast as I could, and have had a blast. My favorite thing about Digimon is the memory gauge. Basically, when you're playing Digimon, both players share a single gauge. Any cards you play deducts from your side of the gauge and eventually can fill up the opponent's side, which of course ends your turn. And I realize right now I just did a really bad job of explaining it, but basically it's a little game of tug of war with a shared resource system, and I personally think that's really cool how the devs developed it. My least favorite part about Digimon is never having the time to play Digimon. The people around me who play Digimon do not play it on the days I'm available. That's it, that's my big complaint. The game's good, I just never get to play it. God damn it. And that's it. Those are, unless I'm forgetting something, all the TCGs I currently play, and I certainly hope you've enjoyed this little rant of mine, but before you go, I have an announcement. Since I've hit a seriously major milestone on the channel, I'm going to be doing a bit of a giveaway over on my Discord server, link below. The details aren't all set in stone just yet, but this will be a giveaway for Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh!, and Flesh and Blood. So if you're a fan of those games, then head on over to the server so that you're kept up to date on the giveaway, which should hopefully be happening soon. With that all said and done, I hope everyone has a great night, morning, day, whatever. I thank you all again from the bottom of my heart for 5K subscribers, and as always, I'll see you next time.